Hi. It's Mindful Monday, and it's actually Monday. And I learned such, how would you say it? I learned an important, or I was reminded of, an important truth this weekend. So, and it has to do with questions, of living in the question, of asking the question. So, a couple of years ago, well, let's see, when is it? 4 years ago this fall, I declared bankruptcy. And when it was completed, I began with zero money in my bank account, no savings account, no credit card. I was like being reborn and starting over. So I made a couple of goals for myself. And the first year or two, that's where I focused my energy. And then I took a class with Yvonne on futuring. And it was not my first experience with futuring. My first experience with futuring was a day spent with Yvonne and my friend Claudia Mardell, in which the idea of our collaborative book, The Voice the Great Mother Speaks, was born. And it was the first time I had experienced futuring. And so 2 years ago, when I took a class with Yvonne on futuring, when I completed the class, I asked myself, what is it that I desire to manifest next? I'd reached my first two goals that I had set for myself after my bankruptcy was completed. And so I made a little short list. It only had 3 things on it. They were all incredibly practical. One was to purchase a new mattress. Another one was to open a stock market account and fund it with a specific amount of money. And the third was to buy a television set that what we now call a smart TV, so that I could watch shows that I was interested in through Amazon Prime Video without participating in cable or satellite or any of those things. So those were my 3 goals. So last year, I had saved the money and put aside the money to purchase the mattress. So I did that. So that left 2 goals on my little futures list of things I wanted to manifest. And those 2 items, it was like, have you ever seen a hamster on a hamster wheel? You know how they're so busy and they go around and around and around. They don't get anywhere, but they're very focused and they keep going. And that's what my experience was with those last 2 goals. I would explore it via the internet. I would talk to people. I kept accumulating information. And I never went anywhere with it. So the year went by. Then the second year was halfway gone. And something that happened in a conversation with a friend. And I thought, well, who could I ask? Where could I find some information? So I contacted the man who has supported me with technology for 20 years. And I said, I am interested in TV. I have this price range. I want it for this size room. What can you recommend? So he wrote me back and he said, this is the brand, this is the size, and this is where I think you ought to go look. So all of a sudden, I was off the wheel. So I hadn't been to Costco in like 2 years. So after drumming with friends, I went by Costco on a Saturday night. There was hardly anybody there. I got to park right in front. I walked inside. I walked straight to the televisions, and there was the TV. And it said, sale, ends tomorrow. And I looked at the size of the box, and I thought, it was a ginormous box. And I thought, there isn't any way that I, by myself, am going to wrestle this TV into my car, get it home, get it in the house, and get it set up. So I check out with my couple of food items, and I said to the man, is there any way for me to go online if I want something that's on sale and get it when I get home? And he said, oh, sure. So now I've asked 2 questions. The one was the what, the where, and the next one was like a how question. So I went home Saturday night. On Sunday morning, I look online. I compare prices with my favorite shopping place, Amazon. And sure enough, Costco had what I wanted on sale for $200 less than I could find it anywhere else. So I ordered it online, and when I did, I discovered that for a mere $20, they would deliver it to my house, put it in the room that I wanted it in, and set it up. So I said yes. So through asking a question, through surrendering that I didn't have to do this all by myself, I didn't have to figure it out all by myself. I could have, but I also had a choice. I could choose not to. So I surrendered the pride of I can do this myself, and I asked. And I got everything and even more that I wanted. And then we come to the great story of the stock market fund. So I had received a notice from the university that I work with that they were offering me a tax plan. And I thought, well, that's kind of silly. I don't need a retirement plan. I already have a retirement. So I looked around, I looked online, I was being independent. I could not find the answer to whether or not this was a good thing for me. So I breathed into where I was. I asked my friend who's very knowledgeable, and she didn't know either. So I thought, who would know? First question. And if you would, the space said, ask your accountant. This was a woman who had supported me during the bankruptcy, who had taken care of all my taxes. She's not a rescuer. She's very impeccable. So I wrote and asked her if she had a suggestion about whether or not this was a valid way to go, or if there was anybody I could ask. And again, back comes some information. I forwarded your question to my stockbroker. I've asked him to get in touch with me. So the man did. He was incredibly helpful. And so he not only answered my questions, he took the time to go online to enter the stock company that I was interested in, to find out how to enroll in an online program. He took me through all the steps. There was nothing in it for him at all. And when we were done, it took like 10 minutes for me to complete my future list. Things I desired to manifest, So from the time I asked the first question on Saturday afternoon to Sunday evening, 2 years worth of looking at my list was complete. I was off the hamster wheel. My priorities that I had set for myself were completed. So I asked myself, what was the lesson here? And for me, it comes in several parts. First, it's okay not to do it all yourself. I was raised in the tradition of you never ask for help if you can do it yourself. And I could have done both of those things myself. Instead, I chose to resource what I knew and ask someone for more information. I was willing to let my ego go. I was willing to surrender to accepting help from another and to ask for the help. So today I was meeting with Yvonne de la Flor, and I was sharing this story with her. And she was the one who pointed out to me that piece about being so independent and thinking that you have to do it yourself. And to me, this seems like a reflection of the power of community and the power of connection. And I thought of one of the sacred principles of transcendental rebirthing, the power of living in the question. So for me, it's not only asking the question and being willing to literally surrender into the stillness of waiting for the answer, waiting for the clarity, and letting go of I can do it myself. The answer is yes, I can. And it was so much fun and so much easier to do it with others. So tonight I invite you to celebrate your resources and your connections, and to ask yourself, is there any hamster wheel you've been running on for a while? And can you, by surrendering and asking, can you get off the wheel? I know I did, and it was so easy and so much fun. And now I'm ready for my next futuring goal, which I established for myself today. And I'll let you know how it goes. Have a wonderful evening.